a magnificent win on Tuesday night. Does it get better in retrospect, or do you kind of file it and move on?
Well, a little bit of both, I guess. I guess the importance of what happens next becomes a bit clearer, because you don't really think about it too much before the game. But no, a little bit of both. I mean, we have to remember that in the next 6 days, starting Sunday, we're playing in 3 competitions, and you know, we're all well aware of what our list of priorities are. So this is a big week, and people will think it's a big game on Sunday, and rightly so. But we've then got to recover within 2 days to play, in my opinion, a more important game on the Tuesday. So it's a big week, and by the end of it, we'll have a clearer idea of where we're going to be.
Watching the players and yourself together on the pitch after the game, your motto this season's been never too high, never too low. There was a steely determination, job well done, but nobody was over exuberant, and that says a lot about the group, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, listen, they celebrated both goals, probably a little bit more dramatically than they maybe have done thus far, but I think that's understandable. And it wasn't good for the voice box trying to get them back in and organised, because you couldn't hear yourself think, really. But I think the way they saw it through, you know, when you think about how much we dominated the first game, and then the same in the first hour, and suddenly you then make the breakthrough. You know, I suppose there's a tendency to think that you can see it through from there, and then to get knocked pretty much straight away with a good goal, to then come back, probably ride our luck a couple of times, and then come back and win it, I think showed an enormous amount of character. And I think, you know, games like that and things like that happen during the game, I think they are character building, and for sure we're going to need that character as the season progresses, because there's going to be more and more big games.
Crowd, especially in the second half on Saturday, really got behind you, and they'll play a part on Sunday, as will the stadium, because Sheffield United players, with greatest respect, probably used to bigger facilities.
Well, I don't know. I guess there are a number of stadiums such as ours in League One. We're not forgetting, of course, that they were a Premier League team 5 years ago, and then Championship. But in League One, they'll have experienced atmospheres, I guess, and the same size of crowd that we'll get on Sunday quite a bit. I thought the crowd were excellent Tuesday, and probably just got a little bit quiet and nervous when we scored. But when it went to 1-1, they really came good and helped us through, I think.
So if the crowd and the Abbey are kind of your 12th man, your 13th man is possibly your unbeaten home record, because it's not just about progressing in the Cup when you go on the sort of run that you've been on.
Yeah, look, I think we have to put Sunday in perspective. The wins, obviously the record at home is, as I've said, good for confidence. But again, I've said on a number of occasions, every game starts at kick-off, and you know, we have to all understand the opposition that we're playing on Sunday. You know, if you look through their list of players, I would guess 75 or 80% of them have recently played Premier League football, and if not Premier League, Championship football. So you know, that's the quality of player that we're meeting on Sunday. So I guess the home record will help, but as I again often say, it's about players, and they've got some good ones.
As you say, it is about players. Luke Berry obviously grabbed the headlines on Tuesday night. It could be any one of the players that are selected this weekend, so they've all really got to be on it.
Yeah, look, we have to play well Sunday. There's no No two ways about that. And I'm sure the players are well aware of that, and they'll be even more aware of it when we get there on Sunday. But look, we have got a good record, and we are confident. We are playing well, especially at home. Okay, Berry got the 2 goals the other night, but Dunk 2 goals in the last home match, and Appiah 2 goals in the last away game at Barnet. So the goals are being shared around a little bit, and I think the fact that we're scoring goals from midfield is a bonus. And we probably just need 1 or 2 more to start chipping in.
I was in the club shop yesterday picking up some terrace tickets for my son and some of his mates. Your chairman's in there, busy selling tickets. His passion for the club, I saw it firsthand on Tuesday night, and that's reflected in the staff at the club and the players and the sense of family.
Yeah, I think before the game, especially once we realised what the draw might bring us, or would bring us if we could win, you really try not to think about it too much. But deep down, you know how important it is to everybody. There's a lot of people at this football club have worked extremely hard over the last 5 years to keep it going. Never mind get us to where we are today. And Dave has been very instrumental in that over the last 12 months, and Paul Barry previously. Dave is the sort of guy that wears his emotions on his sleeve a little bit, and he was a bit emotional Tuesday, as we all were, because we knew it was an important day for the club, no doubt about it.
If selected this weekend, it could be Josh Coulson's 200th appearance for the club. That's 189 starts and 10 sub-appearances today. That's a heck of a milestone for a homegrown player, isn't it?
It is a good milestone, and I think early in his career people probably thought that he may have been one that would move on and play higher. I know that there was a lot of talk about that at one stage, but I would doubt if he's played any better than he's playing right now. And we've already said this season, full credit to him, because he knew he was under pressure, as were a number at the start of the season, because of the recruitment of certain players in the summer. But you need people like Josh Coulson to step up and stand up and be counted, and he has. So as you say, if he plays on Sunday, it will be a terrific milestone for him, and he's playing probably better than ever.
How's the injury situation? Because as you say, you've got a very big period coming up, 3 games in 6 days, and the pitches haven't been so easy on the old legs recently either.
No, but we were able to give those that needed a bit of a breather last Saturday, and the good news is that they've all come through the game unscathed. So it'll be pretty much a similar sort of squad for the weekend. Obviously, those players that we signed on loan before the window are ineligible, apart from Jason Brown, of course, who will be on the bench because Will Norris is going to go to Royston and play some football. So we're with the same 18 players, which is where we've been pretty much most of the season.
Still nursing Ryan Donaldson and Tommy Elliott through. Time to maybe just get them back into the best form they can before you actually put them back on the pitch.
Well, I think there's 2 things. I think A, the 11, and then B, those that have been in the squad have done well for the football club in recent weeks, and it would be very harsh to leave anybody out of that group. So that's the first thing. And second thing, because that is the situation, we don't have to rush them. We have to remember that Tommy hasn't really played since the first day of the season. Came back, obviously, and tried to come back, but he's got a long way to go in his fitness. He's going to need to go through another pre-season period. Ryan Donaldson maybe not quite so much because he hasn't been out quite so long, but they're both progressing. But we won't we won't push them back and rush them back, because at the minute there's no need to.
Sheffield United, we'll deal with them, I guess. You know Nigel Clough pretty well from Man City and Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Nigel was a player there when I was a coach at both clubs, and look, everybody knows what Nigel is. Consummate professional, really, really good player, and his teams tend to reflect him, which means that at some stage there'll be a really good footballing team. There's no doubt about that.
I'm sure that you've seen them either on video or in the flesh on a number of occasions ahead of this weekend.
Yeah, I tend to try not to tempt fate, but I did go last Tuesday, because to not go probably would have been a mistake. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that we knew we would get through, but we hoped we would, and it was too good an opportunity to miss. And they're 5 unbeaten. Nigel's not been in too long. I think he's focused, firstly, correctly, on making them a lot more difficult to play against and a lot more difficult to beat. And their performances and results recently suggest that. But they do have a lot of firepower if they need it, and they will be a good team. If they're not already, they will be a good team.
They've had a difficult season, as you say. History and tradition counts for nothing in this FA Cup competition there.
Well, that's true, but as I said earlier, you know, we are well aware of the size of the task this weekend, but we do think we can give them a game. I'm not going to deny that either, but I'm not going to make any rash statements. I just want the team to go and play well, and for individuals to perform at their best on what is a bigger stage in front of the TV cameras, and if they do that, then we can give them a good game.